What's up guys, Henreeneo here. Today we'll be unboxing the Nokia 5.4. This was released sometime in December of 2020, but I just got this one, just got sent to me by Nokia, and I'm going to be taking a look at this device and showing you what it's all about. As usual, if this is the first time you're coming to the channel, a sub will be most appreciated, and if you do like this video, hit that thumbs up button and I appreciate it. So let's get straight into the unboxing. So as usual, this is the exact style Nokia puts all their phones in. Let's just see a little bit of the specs that you have on this box. So you've got a phone with a 48 megapixel main wide angle camera, you've got a 2 megapixel depth and a 2 megapixel macro camera, and you've also got a 5 megapixel ultra wide camera all at the back of this phone. At the front, you've got a 16 megapixel punch hole selfie camera, which also has portrait mode and cinema mode. You've got a 6.39 inch HD plus punch hole display. It's an IPS LCD panel and it's capped at 400 nits of brightness. It's also a 19.5 by 9 aspect ratio device, so we'll be taking a look at this display as well. This phone comes with a Snapdragon 662 processor and it's got a 2-day battery life as claimed by Nokia. It's a 4000 mAh battery and it's got a Type-C charging port. So these are some of the brief specs that you have on this one. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have in the box. At the top of the box here, you've got the Nokia 5.4. We're going to set this aside for now, and then you've got the next compartment that houses your SIM ejector tool. You've also got in that section, you've got a free TPU case, and then you've got the list of paperwork here. We have a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. We've got a pair of earphones, and we've got that charging brick, which is a 10-watt charger. So that's all you get in the box. I've got the Polar Night blue color here, and I absolutely love the way this color looks. Looks fantastic. I like the patterns to the back of this and the way they've put those cameras in a circular dial at the back there. You've also got a fingerprint sensor to the back of the device here, and to the sides, to the right side, you've got the power button and your volume rockers. To the left, you've got that dedicated Google Assistant button. You've got your dual Nano SIM tray slot that also has a slot for a micro SD card. At the bottom, you've got that USB Type-C port, your speaker grill, and your microphone. At the top, you've got that 3.5mm headphone jack and also a noise cancelling microphone. That's all you get for the ports and button placement on this phone. So for the display on the Nokia 5.4, again, it's a 6.3 inch IPS LCD 720p display. It looks good. It's not the brightest of display. In fact, right now I have it turned down to about 50% of brightness. But again, it's not that bright if you're taking a look at this phone. And I feel like when you take this out to use it in very bright daylight where the sun is like shining down on you, it's going to be a bit difficult to see stuff on the screen. Peak brightness is limited to 400 nits, but again, it's a very decent screen. For software on this device, you've got Android 11 running the stock Android skin as just the Google Pixel launcher that you have in here. Not a bad thing again, very fluid, very smooth, and thanks to that Snapdragon 662 processor here, makes things work quite good for a phone at this category. I don't have any complaints about the functionality of this phone. Screen display looks good, videos look good on this phone. Again, if you're going to be watching content here, it's a fairly big screen and has a fairly tall aspect ratio, so you enjoy videos that were shot in the 16:9 aspect ratio. So it looks very good over here. Videos will be capped at 720p. Again, a bummer for me. I wish they would have taken this up to 1080p, as some other phones from the likes of Xiaomi has 1080p screens at this same price point. So on this phone, you've got a 4000 mAh battery paired with that 720p display and a Snapdragon 662 processor. I want to believe that this will take you conveniently through a day without any hassles. In my few days of using this device, I've discovered it takes me down through the end of the day, and at about 9 p.m. I'm left with about 20%, 15% dependent on my usage. So it's not a bad battery life in here, it's good, but again, you would have to charge this at least once a day for you to use throughout the day. So it's a good pass mark for me for the battery on this device. In terms of performance, everything flows here. I mean, everything is smooth. You would be hard pressed to find any issues with using this device performance wise. It opens all my apps speedily. I've had absolutely no issue with running applications on this phone or game. Now let's talk about that 48 megapixel main rear wide angle camera at the back of this device, and also the 5 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. Taking pictures with the Nokia 5.4 is decent. I mean, all the pictures you're going to take in daylight and well-lit situations will come out looking very decent. As for the portrait shots, edge detection isn't so great. You're not going to get very quality edge detection on this one, and the bokeh effect is not that good as well. But overall, all the pictures I took here were decent and they were usable. You'd absolutely be fine using these pictures on social media. I'll score it a 5 out of 10. For the selfie cameras, it takes decent photos as well, as you can see, and I have no complaints here. I like the skin tones that the selfie cameras puts out. So for cameras here, I think the Nokia 5.4 is a decent buy if you're looking for a phone with a decent camera. So for the rear main camera on this device, I would give it a 5 out of 10. It's an average camera, but again, you have to expect that because this is a budget smartphone. For the cons, I don't like the fact that it's got a really very huge chain. Now, there are phones from companies like Xiaomi who give you budget device but don't have this sort of chain. I mean, Nokia, you don't have to put your logo here. We all know it's a Nokia phone. So just take it off and minimize the chain on this device. Otherwise, this is a very decent smartphone. In terms of the pricing for the Nokia 5.4, this will cost you 82,500 Naira, which is about $170. So that was my initial look at the Nokia 5.4. It's a very decent budget device from Nokia, and I think this is something a lot of you should take a look at if you're looking for something to save you some cash. If you have any questions on the Nokia 5.4, please leave them down in the comment section and I'll be glad to respond to as much of them as I can. Again, if this is the first time you're here to this channel, do subscribe and also hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.